So how comes your audio was already ready? Like you had it all?
Because I'm just magic. Because I've done something last time. I worked out how to do it with the chat input or whatever. But to me, that's still too confusing because I don't have control. It sets itself. So I thought, hold on, why am I never using multi-track and it's not working? And the fundamental mistake I was making, I realized, is that when you go to multi-track input, the way the Rodecaster works is it puts the stereo pair first. So 1 and 2 are the stereo pair. So every time I'm going to 1, it's giving me everything. And that was confusing me. And obviously I need 3. So that's all I've done. Just used input 3.
I'm glad you solved the problem.
I mean, it's what an embarrassing problem to have. But
well, to be fair, this podcast has always been a side thing to your actual work and all that. And that's far more of a priority. So yeah, I'm not surprised it goes wrong because you're more distracted with actual work, not this show.
It's a side thing for you too. You're doing everything. You're doing all of your work. You're doing about 5 podcasts.
Wow, actually, kind of funny you mentioned that. There are some changes coming to Wonky already. I know that we technically only rebranded, the beginning of the summer, and now we're coming to the end of the summer. I kind of came to the conclusion, weirdly enough, I was chatting to Claude, bouncing ideas back and forth, and we were just stretching ourselves a bit too thin. The main people who work on Wonky are me and Caden, and that's it. And we are arranging all the podcast recordings, trying to get a balance. And I kept trying to record or get around to getting guests for one of these shows called Overthink. We're now scrapping Overthink and Offbeat, which are 2 shows. One, there was a collaboration with Transient Radio, and the other one being an interview with Creative Minds. The idea isn't going for either of them. In fact, the Overthink one could come back. The idea now is we're going to make another RSS feed and scrap the old ones. And this RSS feed is kind of a lab or a bin sort of area. So that allows everyone in Wonky or new people to come to Wonky and want to experiment with an idea. And it allows the people to come and listen to it, give us their opinions. It also gives them a chance to actually try it and see how they feel with doing the episode. And there are no large expectations. It's an unusual way of doing this, but I kind of feel like it might be a good approach for trying to get people on board with the Wonky idea. None of this is launched at the moment, but what do you think?
I think it'd be great if you could, especially canvassing the uni and those kind of people with interesting creative ideas. It really opens it up.
Another thing is that we have currently got this problem that no one is heading to the Patreon as well. Again, I want to put it out there. The Patreon is free. But to encourage people to go there, we're going to start doing more bonus content or Patreon-only content to encourage people to go there, because I believe that is going to be the area that all of the news and how you're going to get the episodes like this faster by following that platform. So that means we're going to do bonus content like, I don't know, guess a sound quiz game, random stuff like that will be only on Patreon. As well as with Overthink, I'm thinking I'm going to move it into this show.
Yeah, okay.
When as I don't know if you count them as bonus episodes or extra stuff, as well as doing these episodes every so often, so I don't feel pressured to get the next episode out. There will be a Overthink episode in Functions.
Right. Yeah, that's cool because you keep the consistent.
Yeah. And it's all about trying to be more productive and the creative process. And I kind of feel like that fits quite well with this show because we often talk about the tech we use to make ourselves more productive or the industries we're in, because we often talk about cameras and random stuff like that. So yeah, I'm hoping by folding that into this, that's going to work out better. This is all an experiment. That's the whole point of Wonky. It started off as just us wanting to show off our skills, and now it's kind of become a way to say, we're going to make mistakes, try and learn with us.
Yeah. Cool. How about this? Where are the Wonky women?
So I have tried to get other people on the show before, or to make their own podcast. it's already very difficult to get more people on board. And every person I've asked has generally shut it down immediately. So it's just a matter of we haven't quite found the hosts that we want for the shows at the moment. If there's
because
anyone.
There are plenty of women in design and in tech and in creative spaces, right?
Yeah. In fact,
who have
they are
voices.
Usually probably the more prominent designers is what I'd say.
Yeah.
They're very much more open to talking about the subjects.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would love to get people of different genders, different ethnicities, whatever on the shows. But again, it is just me and Caden who are mostly running the show. You join this episode, this show specifically, but you don't really get involved with any of the development side of things. That's all me and Caden.
Oh, absolutely. I'm a substitute. Just comes on in the fourth quarter and claims the win and then goes back.
Sport reference, yes. These things are still being worked out. This is very new information, but we have already taken down the Overthink and Offbeat RSS feeds. I believe they're still available on Spotify. That's just because it takes a bit longer for them to go down. Same for Apple, but they will eventually just not be an option there anymore. It is a shame to shut down the new shows that we already launched with. We are keeping Viewfinder. That's taken a bit longer than we expected, but we have got intentions to be doing that a hell of a lot more, kind of when we all go back to university, which is not far off now. I mean, how was your summer break? I know it's a completely change of subject, but why not?
Yeah. Summer was great. I got to go to Jamaica and go and see my family and help them recover from the earthquake, the hurricane, sorry, not an earthquake. I'm thinking of a different country there, Colombia. But yeah, amazing. And from a tech perspective as well, really, really interesting.
From a tech perspective?
I just imagined lots of people still to be using older generation tech in Jamaica because the average wage is drastically lower than ours. But somehow everybody's on the latest iPhones, the new Samsung Folds. The cars are still crazy, even in Kingston. No electric cars, though. No electric cars.
Well, I mean, to have an electric car, you'd have to have the infrastructure. And I know nothing about Jamaica.
Yeah. No, well, the infrastructure is, I saw one public charger whilst I was out there. But what I did see is so much Chinese branding and Chinese cars and garages. They are taking over Jamaica. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they've really embraced it. I guess when you look at the German cars, that's still a marker of prestige. They do have Audis, they do have Mercedes, but the Chinese cars have the aircon, they have the ride quality, and they're 2-3 times as cheap. So they're just taking over out there.
That is interesting. Yeah. I've got a question for you, though. I'm not sure if this will be in the episode, so it's a 50-50, whether you say yes or no on this subject. I was scrolling across Instagram, and I saw that you went to a wedding. I think you brought this up in the just after we finished recording the last episode.
Yeah.
Were you DJing at the wedding?
I was DJing at the wedding.
Okay.
Yep.
Then here comes my second question. Who was the person who messed with the DJ decks? Because I saw that and immediately went, oh no, you can't do that to someone.
Weddings are tricky. They are really tricky, especially when everyone's overly confident and there's a free bar. But yeah, one of the other best men decided that he was more than once that he was going to touch the decks. And it got to the point, like he meant well, like he was trying to say, rewind the record, which I guess is a mark of respect and excitement. But it got to the point where I had to talk to him quite aggressively, face to face, and someone had to break us up later on in the night because he just got overzealous and just too bold with it, too familiar with my decks. And I was playing on I was playing on Pioneer 3000s, which was a luxury because I rarely get to go on those.
I have to say,
really
the moment
nice.
I saw that happening, I was watching the clip and I went, "Oh, that's nice." He's seen Eli DJ. I've not seen that.
Yeah.
And then very quickly, my blood boils the moment I see the deck get spinned. And I go, "What? You can't do that to someone." And I was laughing at myself for the fact I got annoyed about that, and I wasn't even there.
Yeah, well, you play a couple of weddings and you will see.
It looked lovely there, though.
Oh, we were. It wasn't an oil rig like I originally thought. It was a disused docking type of warehouse that was repurposed into a venue, like a really nice venue. So it had all of the original features still, and kind of like iron everywhere and ships just right outside. So we kind of got on the boat at the start and sailed across, got there. But it was a 3-day party. Brilliant.
3 day?
Loved it. 3-day party. Yeah. One of the best weddings I've been to. So, yeah, the bride and groom are both creatives. One of them is head creative at Nike Football and the other is head creative at, I don't want to get this wrong. I want to say Hunter Boots, but it might not be that. So, yeah, you can imagine the wedding party there. There were lots of interesting people.
They both must really like shoes then.
Yeah. Yeah, really limited in what shoes they're allowed to wear, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Oh, that's got to be confusing.
Yeah.
My summer's not been as eventful as yours. I did go and see, actually, so before we started recording the episode, I was talking about something that I did that was very stupid. I dropped a crowbar on my foot, Half-Life fan. That's why I have a crowbar. Get that over and done with very quickly. Weirdly enough, we also arranged to go and see Mr. Scruff play. Yeah.
Mr. Scruff.
Oh, he's a great DJ.
Okay.
One of my favorite songs of his is literally just a song about fish. But yeah, it was great to go and see him in Norwich, in this place I've never been before. And I'm definitely going back because it was just a great atmosphere. I will say my foot, I'd done that a week before I dropped the crowbar. Sorry, no, I dropped the crowbar on my foot a week before going to it. So I stumbled along to this venue and the bass was so high, I felt my toe click in. And I felt really good after that. I was in way less pain.
Okay.
So my recommendation is go to venues with high bass and you'll fix your bone problems.
Fix your, crack it all back in place.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So that was your event of the summer?
So earlier on, we went to go and see Prodigy. Then my family's been off on music events so often on summer holiday. We're going to go and see Baobab this weekend, which is a orchestra. Okay. I'm trying to remember what we've done because we did have a family. So we have a large family. And so we decide to meet up like once every year for a whole week. We call it the Blackman Family Meetup. And
cool.
This time I actually, not being a moping teenager, I actually joined in with all the stuff. And we have also got these paddle boards. I was being really cocky. I'd managed to be on the paddle board for an hour on the river, perfectly fine. And then I fell in and got my brand new white t-shirt completely soaked. And it didn't go well.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, I don't think it's been that much of an eventful summer for me. Stuff's happened, but not that much. Yours sounds way more interesting. I mean, you went to that reggae festival, right?
Oh, yeah. So we went to Reggae Land, which was nice for the second time. But that was more of a work thing. So I didn't really get to see the festival. It was more about backstage and just broadcasting and getting through a live show. But another festival I did go to was The Roots came to London, the Roots band from Philadelphia. And they brought Nas down to headline. So I went to that festival for the weekend in South London, Crystal Palace. And it was a great festival, lots of great artists, singers, rappers, Flowetry were amazing. But then I filmed loads. And when I got home, someone sent me a text and said, have you seen this app? Now, I'm going to kill myself because my phone's not in my pocket. I believe the app is called WeMix or YMix. Something like that, spelled really weirdly.
WeMix.
And basically what this app does is it takes the actual PA mix from the festival and syncs it to your video and overlays it to your video. So your film becomes a real version of the, a kind of like a festival performance video. And I looked into the tech behind it. So they used fingerprint technology similar to Shazam. They use your geolocation and the timestamp on your video to then sync it all up beautifully and then give you this pristine audio. Amazing. So I filmed massive chunks of Mos Def's set and Common's set and Nas's set. And now I've got like these live mixes of their tracks.
That is an incredibly powerful tool. That's amazing.
Simple, really simple idea. And I'm kicking myself for not thinking of that. That is an idea I should have thought of years ago. But I think what it's taken is the app developers have had to go and make these agreements with the sound teams at the festivals because, otherwise they'd have to steal the mix somehow.
That's just an interesting idea. Wow.
Yeah.
I tried searching it up. I couldn't find it. No.
I will find it before it's time.
Every website I clicked on was entirely different. So no, I didn't find it. I found a DJing website.
Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. I've got to get my phone anyway. 1 second.
Cool.
Pause.
Pausing.
Okay.
You found the app?
Yeah, I just sent you a link to it. It's called WeMix, but it's about WIMYX.
Oh, that looks entirely different to the app that I was looking at a second ago. Not compatible with device.
Yeah.
That's because I'm on a computer. That is useful.
Fan job. But the catch, it's completely free, but of course there is a catch. And the catch is that, as far as I can see, the catch is that your videos then become part of their app and they've got like a carousel type Instagram part of the app.
Oh, that's kind of a shame because it's adding to that whole addictive nature. But yeah, okay.
Yeah, and they use your app. I get your videos to promote what the app can do. And I'm sure it will start costing money soon as well because, Taylor Swift is going to say, yes, you can have it, but if you want my mix, you need to pay me this much money, and then they'll charge us for it.
I think,
and we all want Taylor Swift's mix.
No, I think that they will most definitely be brought out at some point. Don't know who by, but mark my words, they'll be brought out, and we'll be using that technology like Shazam, like literally what happens in Shazam.
Well, the obvious people would be, Rock Nation. What are they called? Live Nation.
Yeah.
Because they've got a monopoly on the whole festival venue game anyway, and it serves them to have that as an addition. When you buy your ticket, or Ticketmaster, when you buy your ticket, then pay an extra 10% and you can record and get the real audio too. It writes itself.
It could also be part of DICE or Apple Music or Spotify, all these other ones.
But yeah, give it a go.
I definitely will. I've got to give that a try.
I'll go to a festival now to be able to test it or a live venue.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I will be Baobab this weekend.
There you go.
I wonder how good it's going to be at doing that, because with the transient gigs that we do, let's say in London once a year, that'll be a very useful tool for doing the B-roll footage. But technically, I've already got all the audio because I work for them. But maybe if he just syncs it automatically, then why not?
But the thing is, who's going to do the mix? Someone's got to do the mix anyway. They don't do the mix for you. They just take your feed.
Yeah, true. I do have some other news. I'm going to be living back in Norwich again.
Hey, that's
for
good.
the last year, I've been traveling up, but this year I'll actually be living back in Norwich again. Found a place, just put a deposit down on it and done all the documentation, and I'll be moving in September.
That's brilliant. Good news.
I'm very
What's the Wi-Fi like?
I already checked that. Not great, but it would be.
I knew you would. That was actually a joke. But
when I went to go and have a tour, it was a little bit messy, but I mean, they're students, so you kind of expect it. But there was this thing that blew my mind. There was a Wi-Fi router plugged into a Wi-Fi router, which was then plugged into a Wi-Fi router, which then plugged back into the first Wi-Fi router. I'm thinking, what does that do? Surely that just makes traffic that is fighting itself. And then there's Wi-Fi boosters up on each level that someone's put in. It's insanity. I'm probably not going to be allowed to mess around with the network, but if I see that on the floor, I'm fixing that immediately. But
I'm sure once you talk for a little while, they'll say, this guy knows what he's doing.
The guy
the password.
who gave us a tour, I was talking about the Wi-Fi. I said, how good is it? Is it all right? And he just asked me, so what companies would you recommend? And I straight away gave him a list of things, and he just looked baffled by all of the stuff I just said at him. But yeah,
so you're moving in with strangers?
So the weird thing about this specific one is we kind of found it a weird way. We went on a website, it's called Uni Homes. We found it there, and then found out that the person who's running that is no longer running the house, and so they didn't respond to any of the emails. We found out who was the letting agent, emailed them, and he was confused at how we even found them because they hadn't even put it up as a listing yet. So there's not that many people that know about it currently. So there's a chance I'm going to be either on my own or with one other person. I don't think it's going to be full.
Okay.
So we'll see how that goes. But I'm happy to be back in Norwich, and I have applied for a job while I'm there at the Apple Store.
Oh, that's a dream.
Yeah.
That's a dream. That's great.
So we'll see how that all goes.
It's a dream for me because you're going to get your discount after 3 months and then
You're not wrong, are you? Definitely going to use that discount.
Oh, that's really cool.
So
I love Norwich. I spent some time in Norwich this summer. Norwich is great. Like the shops, the people. It's the place to be.
I prefer it to Suffolk, but don't tell anyone from Suffolk.
No, I said Norwich, not Norfolk. No. Norfolk is not the place to be.
No, I agree. Norwich specifically is, but I just count the whole of Suffolk. I'm not. I've lived here now for a few years. I don't feel like I get on with Suffolk that well.
Yeah,
it's too quiet.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's nice if you want to feel safe, but I came from Wales, where it wasn't that quiet. Anyway, I'm going to bring back a segment we haven't done in a while. It's time for Finder. You kind of already joined in on this, though, by having your own recommendation of that app that I've immediately forgotten the name of. Wemix. I've got 2 recommendations. One of them is a game, so you're probably not going to be that interested in it because I don't think you like games that much.
I like games. I like to want to play games, but I don't play games.
Yeah. So the game I'm recommending is called Big Walk. It's been published by a company called Panic and made by a company called House House. Their most famous thing before this is Untitled Goose Game, which I've never played actually. But the whole point of Big Walk is you get a group of friends who also get the game and you just solve puzzles together and go on a walk. It sounds, it sounds boring, but it's a really fun game. I've now just completed it. I highly recommend it for people, especially talking in the game. There are just some fascinating puzzles. I only played it with one other person, but I think the more people you get involved, the better. It just seems like a lovely and friendly game to play.
Any game that encourages people to get out and be social. I mean, that solves all 3 problems, really, doesn't it? You get to play a game, you get to be social, and you get to go out.
It's not a real walk.
Oh, okay. What is it then?
Right, you just sit at your computer and you pretend to walk, I guess.
What? What's the point? This is why I don't play games.
It's not that you pretend to walk. It's just this idea of kind of spending time with friends. I know,
but not really.
Well, I have a few friends now that aren't in this country, so it's nice to kind of play games with them.
Yeah,
I think it's kind of for that, kind of meeting up with your friends across the world.
Yeah.
You're making me feel like this is pointless now, but it is a really good game.
Cool. I will just go with that.
And my second recommendation, or actually, I just want to talk about this. My dad got a keyboard, and it's really cool.
What, like a QWERTY keyboard?
Yeah, he got a low. I can't remember what it was called. It was a low free, and it's got magnetic keys. So instead of being your traditional switch, they're a mechanical keyboard that uses magnets to push against it and change the feel of the keys. And it means the actuation point can be anywhere. It can be instant, and then you can also use it in the opposite way. You know how, like with a joystick, when you're playing a game, you can change your speed by moving it further out or closer to the center. You can technically do that with this keyboard.
Oh.
It's a really interesting keyboard. It's called the Heisen. It's this full metal, CNC aluminum. I now can't remember. That sucks. Aluminium. Thank you, internet. Thank you for that. Messing my brain. It looks really nice. I'm not a big fan of RGB, but the RGB on that is also really nice looking.
It looks incredible just looking at it now. And I like the little palm rest at the front as well.
It comes in this ridiculously huge portable case for it. No one is taking this thing out and about, and yet it's got a case. It's really heavy as well.
Yeah, that's nice. I don't want to ask how much it costs because it looks like it is a bit.
Well, it's cheaper than some keyboards that I've definitely looked at. I think it's 200 and something.
Okay. And it doesn't even have a stick of RAM in it. You just don't need to spend that much money.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, the keyboard I got is the Newfie, and I think I paid around about 60 or maybe £90 for mine. And that was good enough for me.
Okay.
I've used cheap keyboards. I mean, everyone's used a membrane keyboard. They suck. But this keyboard is perfectly good enough for me. It looks cool. It sounds nice. And it feels good to type with. I'd love to get into that whole expensive keyboard industry, but it's expensive. So, no, I'm never going to do that.
Yeah. I am super tempted now to put my Mac onto the beta version of Mac OS. I think I might do it this week.
Really?
Yeah. I've been watching people talking about how stable it is and how this is it, version 6. So as soon as the public one comes out, because I think the public one comes out a couple of days later, I think I'm going to do it.
Is it okay, what made you decide?
There's a couple of things. My current scenario is I've got no DJ gigs coming up. I'm not midway through a big editing project at all. And it seems like it's mature enough for me to do it. And if it's not stable, I've probably only got about 3 weeks to wait until a stable version. That's how I'm thinking.
Oh, you're terrible for me, aren't you? You're going to make me do it as well.
Do you know what? And this is sad, but the feature I really want to try is, in fact, I could probably do it on my other Mac, but it's where it changes all of your passwords for you.
That's the thing you're most excited about?
Well, I got hacked this summer.
Oh, really?
All of my Meta accounts got compromised and hacked. And I kept getting these messages when I was in Jamaica. Was I in Jamaica? Yeah, Jamaica. And it kept saying, someone's attempting to, was this you? You know, those messages. And I thought, maybe it's just because I'm abroad and I'm not really paying attention. I'm on holiday. I'm distracted. And when I got back, I noticed that things were changing on my account and messages were being sent to people that I didn't know. And I was like, something's wrong here. So I changed my password and then it said, is this you? Again, so someone else was still trying to get into it after I changed it. So I think it's time to change everything because maybe cut this out, but that password's being used on like 99 other different things.
I've been thinking of paying,
including my email, which is probably how they got in.
I've been thinking of paying one of those, maybe one time doing this, kind of where it deletes your data from a bunch of websites, because recently it feels like that's definitely increased for me. I don't know what it is. I know that my data was compromised from the framework website, which sucks. I'm not happy about that. And there's a possibility it got through on Steam as well, which also isn't great. So have you seen the new, I don't know what you call them, the traffic light indicators design on macOS then?
No. You mean what, at the top left corner?
They've
changed again.
Changed liquid glassy now. You can actually stretch them as well.
Okay.
I just wonder if you've seen that.
I haven't, but I'm going to. So we'll see. I'm not too bothered about that. I don't really notice the traffic lights. I kind of use shortcuts for everything, but
I'm scared to go and join the new OS. It's my top menu bar. I'm scared of what it's going to do to that.
Yeah.
Because I have a bunch of applications there, and apparently there's a new way of treating them.
Right.
And I don't know what that's going to be. And currently I use hidden bar to hide all my stuff. I don't want that to break.
Yeah.
So, I'm just hesitant of going for that update.
Well.
And my computer also heats up a hell of a lot at the moment. So I am also worried that could worsen the life of my computer if I join that update.
Yeah, I think you should just stay safe and let me go for it.
I know. I like to try new things.
I know you do.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So with my phone, I have swapped back to public beta now.
Okay.
Took a while.
Yeah.
But my phone was becoming unusable very quickly.
Because of battery?
So, no, battery was perfectly fine. I kept having to restart my phone because the app icons wouldn't load in, pages wouldn't load on websites, keyboard would sometimes get stuck on the screen. I had a lot of bugs and I had to swap back to public beta. And the sad thing about that is I've lost some of the features I wanted to try. And just when I swapped to the public beta, they announced the whole Siri voice thing, which I wanted to try out.
Right.
But I'm not risking it anymore. I'm staying on the public beta and I'm not swapping to developer beta again. I'm waiting for the full thing to be released.
Yeah. Well, but it's not too... Yeah. It's around the corner. It's around the corner.
Yeah, it's probably either the end of next month or next month.
Yeah, mid. I think mid-June. Mid-June? Where am I? Mid-September. Yeah.
Oh, and we've also got, I think... this is the last month of Tim Cook being CEO.
Wah, wah.
So next month we will have an entirely new CEO. We'll kind of see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm a bit concerned about this new release strategy that I'm hearing about, where they're going to do the Mac, where they're going to do the iPhone in 2 waves throughout the year, and then they're going to do another Mac with M6 at the end of the year in December. And then another Mac in like April. I'm not really sure if that's good for me. It doesn't work for me, man. Please no.
Do you think that's not good for you because you're worried that you want both of the products?
You make it. You'll make a choice, and then something else will come in a different product category 6 months later. That's just not good for me.
I have good news for you. If they release the what are they calling it, the MacBook Premium or whatever. Mm-hmm. You probably won't be able to afford it.
Yeah, I know.
Because of the whole RAM crisis. So that's going to help you pick which one you want.
Yeah, none.
Did you see the Apple leak as well recently?
I did, with the AirPods.
Yeah. So we've been discussing that quite a bit over the last, 5 months or so. Now that I've even seen it in person, or not in person, but seen actual footage of it, I'm still not on board with the idea of having cameras in my ears.
Yeah.
That's just odd to me. I don't see the point. Why would I want to look at this box and ask it, okay, what does it say? Or can you tell me information about this? Why do I need that?
I can just look or use my camera on my phone.
Or read the back of the book.
Yeah. Yeah. It does kind of lean into the whole, well, I don't need to know how to read now. Believe it or not, we had a student whose parents were a bit upset that we were encouraging the young person to get better at understanding comprehension. And he said, well, I can't read. Why does he need to read? He's going to be all right. He understands. He's got videos. And I thought, oh my goodness. But, you know, the more tech we get, they become the new version of videos. Well, why does he need to be able to see?
I'll say that I didn't get on with reading, but I still do it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you have to. And then to try and balance that out, I listen to audiobooks. I don't think it's the same as watching videos. I don't know. I think audiobooks are more informative, or they're much more focused on being informative than entertainment.
Well, yeah, the audiobooks that you're listening to are structured and written because they're books, right? And a lot of the videos that I guess, especially this parent is talking about, are YouTube videos that are not really thought about in the same way and structured in the same way. And they don't use the English language as extensively because they are just short videos to get a point across in layman's terms.
I mean, YouTube is so bad at this that I don't know the Americanisms and the English words, and they get mixed up in my brain. The only one I know is I will never call solder. No, that's not happening.
Yeah, because you were saying aluminum earlier on, which is funny.
Yeah, I really don't like saying the wrong one, but it happens all the time now.
Yeah.
And the Americans listening are entirely confused. But yeah, it's annoying. We're going to cast your mind back and my mind back quite a bit. So you listened to the book, Apple in China. I should say also, did you read it or listen to it?
I read it.
You read it. You read the book,
I did.
Apple in China. This next section is also going to be spoilers for the book. We're just going to discuss the book. When did you finish it?
It was a while ago, maybe a couple of months back on your recommendation.
It was on the list of, it was on the list of videos. Because it was on the list of shows or episodes we could do in functions, and I brought it out now. That still wasn't good phrasing. Damn it. Let me try that one more time. So this book has been on the list of what we wanted to try on functions. So here we go. Let's discuss the book.
First of all, go on. No, you start. I didn't realize you had something.
No, you go ahead.
No, go, because I didn't really have anything. I thought you were leaving a gap for me.
No, you go.
Thanks for recommending the book to me. First of all, that's something I definitely would never, ever have picked up. Yes, I'm interested in Apple, but I'm not really interested in manufacturing, or I didn't think so, or the process of distribution when it comes to tech. Really opened my eyes up. And it's a lot more complex than I actually anticipated. I thought it was going to be, the story was going to be, oh, we're making these things in China and we're selling them to the world.
I think when it came to listening to the book, for me, I definitely found it way more interesting, the political side of Apple, because we only ever really saw Apple and Tim Cook dealing with Donald Trump and trying to balance out getting new phones and new products out there.
Yeah.
But you realize he's been doing this way longer, and everyone in Apple has been doing this way longer than you entirely expect.
Yes.
I mean, the first Chinese Apple store, was that, I want to say 2006
It was before
5?
the Olympics, wasn't it? So before the Chinese Olympics, they sent that one guy out there.
Yeah. And oh my God, the stories of that one is insane.
Yeah.
When he's going around and they're purposely not letting him see how bad people are treated in China when it comes to factories. And he has to sneak out to try and see what factories are actually like. Is insane. No idea that was a thing.
No.
And then I think the best chapter or area that they focus on is the opening of Oh no, maybe not the opening, but at some point when they have the first Apple store in China open, they have a huge riot and problems because of a local gang.
Yeah. Tell me, at that point, did you kind of pause and look at the pictures?
Yeah.
Because they described the articles that were getting printed locally, didn't they? In the photographs.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's one of those books that you're sat down and you're reading or listening to, and you can't help yourself but pull an expression of shock when you read it. It's insane.
For me, it wasn't complete shock. Obviously, the China side was, but 2011 when the iPad 2 came out, I saw a bit of that for myself from New York. So I queued up at Fifth Avenue, which is their flagship store for America. And I walked down to the Apple store at about 3 a.m. on release day, expecting to be first in the queue. And I had to queue up for like 3 blocks. And actually, that was a real fun time because there was lots of Apple fans in the queue. And at the time, you know, I'm in New York and I'm an Englishman, so it was great. As I got closer to the store, I'm talking maybe a block away, I can see lots of black cars with Chinese people, young Chinese men, standing outside. And you'd see old women, people who look like old Chinese women, and people who look like they're not going to work tomorrow so they can hang out at the store all night, coming out with 2 iPads each and handing them to these young guys, and they were just filling up these cars, and the cars would fill up from the seats to the ceiling, and then they'd drive off. And that was what the queues were. There was probably 50% enthusiasts and 50% of these organized Chinese groups obviously sending them back because they only had one Apple store in the whole of China. And now I know why.
That's insane.
Yeah.
The fact that you have an experience with what? Now you're blowing my mind.
Yeah. And I've never understood to this day. I just thought, where are they going? Because why would they not just buy them in their country? Maybe it's a little bit more money. But I didn't realize they didn't have them at all. And they were selling them for such a markup across the whole of mainland China.
Yeah. I mean, that's insane. And this book just is full of stuff like that. Kind of the most one of the more interesting things in the book as well is also the fact that Apple kind of opened the door for so many other companies to outsource cheap labor as well.
Oh, completely.
And you don't realize how much of an effect Apple has and how they just go in, they buy a factory, they give all of the money. Well, they don't buy the factory, they buy the tools and they let the factories have it. And then once they don't need the tools anymore, they'll go off to other people. So they need to, they just threw open the doors for other companies, and it's insane.
Yeah. And they make these massive companies that we've never heard of successful. There was the one company, I forget I'm going to forget the names, but the lady's name who runs the business that took a lot of the business off who were the original factory that got all the bad press?
Foxconn?
Foxconn. No, not Foxconn. It was the guy who originally got the contracts with them. I'm going to forget now. But anyway, about 10 years in, she then took the business, and then like within 3 or 4 years, she started with iPods or earpods, and then within 3 or 4 years was making iPhones and iPads and whatnot. And is now a super billionaire as well. So yes, Apple are a greedy company like they all are, but they were making other billionaires and sharing that knowledge with all of the Chinese entrepreneurs who then went and made their own companies too.
It's just fascinating to find out all this information. And yeah, I don't know how to wrap my head around some of the sections in the book. I just recommend giving it a listen or a read. It is a really fascinating book.
Yeah.
You learn you learn about how Tim Cook kind of became a part of Apple. His background is far more manufacturing, but he came from IBM, which I didn't know. There's so much.
He came from IBM, but he also took his IBM team with him. So Apple really was IBM at its core at one point, when Tim Cook was rebuilding it. which is interesting.
Which is kind of funny now that I think about it, because at the moment, what are they called? ChatGPT and OpenAI are currently getting sued by Apple because they took their team and their
intellectual property. Yeah,
intellectual properties. That's it. So swings and roundabouts.
Swings and roundabouts. You reap what you sow.
There's going to be something else. I don't know what else the writer has done. I know that he's given comments since on a subject. Around Apple. God, my brain is not working today. I'm sorry.
It reminds me a whole lot of a book that I've mentioned a few times before, called Shoe Dog, which I think I recommended to you. And it's Phil Knight's biography. It's not really about Phil Knight. It's more about how Nike conquered the world, and it starts in Japan. So it's a very similar story, but it starts in Japan with him trying to work out the running shoe business. And there's a company called Tiger and Asics, and he kind of works for them, but then emulates what they're doing. And it's the reverse of what happens with this Apple book. He takes the Japanese way and brings it, learns from them, and then steals it and takes it to America. And obviously the Apple book's the exact opposite.
I've just searched up that book. I've added it to my. I will listen to that later.
You will thoroughly enjoy that book, and it's not a long book either. So it's a quick read.
The only thing I actually knew about Apple in China before this was the almost world famous situation of the suicide nets on the side of factory buildings. That is all that I knew. I didn't know why they were there. I didn't know what was going on, and how Apple actually had to almost interview themselves in a way and learn about all that.
Crazy.
I also didn't know. So funny enough that we brought up Wales earlier, or I brought up Wales. I didn't know that there was a factory
in Wales
where I lived
for G4, right?
And made what they called the toaster Macs because they would fry themselves because they were so badly put together.
So you are to blame for the worst, one of the worst Macs.
It's funny. China, they get amazingly efficient and able to build these machines. People from Wales, we didn't have as much luck.
Listen, don't let me find out that the trash can Mac was made in Wales as well, because then you'll...
No, it was definitely China. Can't put all the blames on Wales. I mean, to think of how Apple was before and how Steve Jobs was like absolutely opposed to ever having cheap Chinese manufacturing to modern day Apple, where they pretty much own it, to the point that it seems almost in recent days that Tim Cook is scared of China.
Yes.
Of what he's kind of, he's backed himself into a corner where he can't get out. He has to still come up with agreements with China. He has to do whatever they tell him.
Absolutely.
Because they were talking about, I think even in the book they were talking about this, how they had this situation where China is very strict on what people can access.
Mm-hmm.
And Apple isn't that way. They've always kind of been open. Well, not open. Scratch that. They're not open at all. But they are, I don't know, they won't restrict people's creativity or views. It's never been their thing.
Yeah.
While China is very much wanting to limit that as much as possible. But Apple can't argue with them because, well, they need them.
Absolutely. They're integral to the business, and to the point that one of the big overarching stories of the book is that Apple saw China as this thing they could use to manufacture their stuff and throw them a bone every so often. But now China was, and the Chinese government was secretly playing along, but learning the game and playing the long game, to the point now the Chinese intellectuals and engineers know the game better than Apple ever could, and can manufacture these things without them and reverse engineer everything without them. And obviously,
genius.
Apple tried to go back to America. I think it was like in Texas somewhere, and they tried to go to India, but they've realized, actually, we still need you, China.
I think around about the time that nothing started moving to India was when I was listening to this book, and that's why I kind of think that India might be the next China for Apple and these other companies.
What they're hoping,
but only time will tell. And I fully agree that China is absolutely genius for the way that this has gone. But Apple definitely had a huge impact on China, way more than I ever thought.
When you really, really consider that the car industry now, the way it is, and China dominating that, I'm sure completely ties back into what Apple started to do in China in the late 90s to now, because the interest was there. The talent started to go there and grew there. And now we've got these guys leading the car industry. It's great. I love it.
It's a great book. Highly recommend it. If you haven't read it, which it's weird that you're listening to this if you haven't, I'd also recommend another book which I have discussed on the same subject of Apple's first 50 years from David Poe. David Poe has been in the scene of Apple for a very long time, and it's just a fascinating book where you find out a bunch of new or hidden facts that you didn't know about Apple before, or maybe a bunch that you already did. It's a great book. Highly recommend it.